The crystalline arena of Zalthar gleamed under three suns, its transparent floor stained with the dried ichor of 500 fallen warriors. Princess Anna stood at its center, her forearms crossed in ceremonial defiance, her chitinous armor reflecting the light like shattered diamonds. She was the deadliest royal in the known galaxy, and she was exhausted. "Another challenger approaches!" The herald's voice boomed across the assembled crowd of 10,000 spectators. The amphitheater erupted in a mixture of cheers and horrified whispers. Anna's compound eyes tracked the figure emerging from the challenger's gate. She expected another hulking Krathian berserker or perhaps a swift Valarian blade dancer. What she saw instead made her mandibles click in confusion. A human. He was small by galactic standards, barely 2 meters tall, with only 2 arms and 2 legs. No natural armor, no venomous spines, no electromagnetic discharge capabilities. He wore simple combat fatigues and carried no visible weapons. His dark hair was tied back, and his brown eyes surveyed the arena with unusual calm. "I am Roma," the human said, his voice carrying despite its softness. "From Earth. I've come to answer your challenge, Princess Anna." The crowd erupted in laughter. Humans were known throughout the galaxy as the strange newcomers, the species that had barely achieved faster-than-light travel a century ago. They were scientists, diplomats, traders, not warriors. Anna felt something she hadn't experienced in the 3 years since this ritual began. Pity. This human didn't understand what he'd walked into. The rite of Zalthar demanded that any who wished to court the princess must first survive combat with her. 500 had tried. 500 had died. Her people's biology was simply superior, faster reflexes, redundant organs, natural weaponry that had evolved over millions of years. "Human," she said, her translator converting her clicking speech into standard galactic. "You may withdraw. There is no honor lost in recognizing a battle you cannot win." Roma smiled, and something in that expression made Anna's primary heart skip. "Respectfully, Your Highness, I didn't come here to withdraw." The ceremonial bell rang. The combat had begun. Anna moved with the speed her species was famous for, closing the 30-meter distance in less than 2 seconds. Her lower arms drew the plasma blades from her hip sheaths, while her upper arms prepared to grapple and crush. This would be quick, merciful. Roma didn't dodge. He stepped forward inside her striking range and dropped to one knee. Anna's blades swept over his head, missing by centimeters. Her momentum carried her forward, and she felt something she'd never experienced in the arena: confusion. Her combat algorithms hadn't accounted for an opponent who moved toward danger instead of away from it. She spun, recalculating. Roma was already moving, his hand touching the crystalline floor. The arena surface rippled outward from that point. "Interesting," Roma said. "The floor conducts vibrations perfectly. Your species relies heavily on vibrational sensing through your feet, doesn't it?" Before Anna could process the implication, Roma stomped his boot against the crystal. The sharp crack created a cascade of false signals, momentarily overwhelming her secondary sensory system. In that half-second of disorientation, he rolled aside, avoiding her following strike. The crowd had gone silent. For the next 10 minutes, Anna pursued the human across the arena. She was faster, stronger, better armed. But Roma never tried to match her strengths. Instead, he made her arena, her home ground, work against her. He used the sun's reflection off the crystal to temporarily blind her compound eyes. He exploited the slight delay in her translator to anticipate her verbal warnings. He mapped her attack patterns and found the microsecond gaps between strikes. He never landed a blow. He didn't need to. He simply refused to lose. Anna found herself breathing hard. Her stamina, usually limitless, beginning to flag. The human showed signs of exhaustion, too, but there was something in his eyes that hadn't diminished. Determination. "Why?" she gasped, holding up one hand to signal a pause. Combat protocol allowed it, though no one had ever invoked it before. "Why come here? You cannot win." Roma straightened, wincing slightly. "Princess Anna, with respect, I think you're asking the wrong question." "Then what is the right question?" "Not why can't I win," Roma said, "but what does winning mean?" He gestured to the blood-stained floor around them. 500 warriors came here to prove they were stronger than you. 500 died because they couldn't accept that they weren't. But I didn't come here to beat you in combat. Anna's antennae quivered. "Then why?" "I came because I read about a princess who was forced into a ritual she never chose, who has spent 3 years killing people who saw her as a trophy to be won. I came because I read between the lines of the challenge and saw someone who was trapped." Roma took a step closer, unarmed, vulnerable. "I came to offer you a different option." "What option?" Anna whispered. "Choose me not because I defeated you, but because I'm the first person who tried to understand you. End this ritual on your terms. We humans have a saying. Sometimes the only winning move is not to play, but sometimes it's to change the game entirely." Anna stared at this strange, weak, impossible human. In 3 years, 500 of the galaxy's finest warriors had tried to prove their worth through strength. Not one had tried to prove it through understanding. Her plasma blades retracted. The ceremonial bell rang in shocked silence as Anna extended her upper right hand to Roma, the traditional gesture of choosing a consort. "You humans," she said, a strange sound emerging from her translator that might have been laughter. "You really are the strangest species in the galaxy." Roma took her hand, grinning despite his exhaustion. "We get that a lot." As the crowd erupted in confusion and wonder, Roma leaned closer. "So, does this mean I get to take you to dinner? Because I'm told the food on Zalthar is amazing." Anna's mandibles clicked in genuine amusement. Perhaps, she thought, there were more important things than strength after all. Perhaps humans understood something the rest of the galaxy had forgotten, that the greatest victories came not from dominating others, but from seeing them clearly. "Dinner," she agreed. "But Roma, if you ever tell anyone I chose you because of your philosophy rather than your combat skills, I'll challenge you to ritual combat." Roma laughed. "Your secret's safe with me, Your Highness." And for the first time in 3 years, Princess Anna of Zalthar smiled.